welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. Well, this game has started very quickly indeed. You're looking at an M10 RBFM. It's a Tier 5 French premium tower turret tank destroyer. It's located on the southwest spawn of Live Oaks, and this one is under the command of Targy. Well, yes, the M10 RBFM, the premium French tank destroyer, which is actually a very good version of the M10. It's much better than the other version, the American one. 76mm main gun, 115 alpha with 130mm of pen with standard ammo. With the APCR, it's capable of 170mm. It does have gun depression, 10 degrees actually, so it can use ridge lines. And there you can see an Achilles, which is basically the same vehicle, but instead it's got the 17 powder gun, because of course the British took the 76mm off and fitted one of their own anti-tank guns on it instead. Well, RBFM, Régiment Marine Français, or Français Marine. This is the French Navy's Marine Force, and they actually were given the tanks by the Americans. They were American tanks, but they were given to the French, and they... Oh, that one hit the tracks. But they actually kitted them out with optical sights so they could actually be used as artillery as well. Because, of course, they were French Marine troops. So, of course, they just wanted all the extra. And that really did pay off, because it meant that these guys were incredibly accurate. And they could shoot very long distances and get very good shots. It was the famous story of a Panther tank on the Champs-Élysées taken out by one of the M10 RBFMs who went into Paris. Of course, remember, the French were the first ones to go into Paris. Oh, that was a kill. And yes, they saw this Panther. He didn't see them, but they knew exactly where he was, and they knew exactly how far away he was as well. And so they managed to dial that into the sights, and they took out the Panther before the Panther could even do anything about it. So they got a kill using their knowledge of the Champs-Élysées. Okay. That Valiant's being torn to shreds. And remember, Valiants have got very thick armor, but of course against these rounds it's not very easy for them to survive. The T1 Heavy over there, but we can't get at him. Now, as you know, Targy normally plays Arty, but he's playing tank destroyers on this game. He did send us in another replay, which is actually a PT game, so we might play that later, or we might even do it in the same video. It's a tier 6 game with tier 4 tanks in it, so he's middle tier, but that does mean that he's got a much better chance of earning high XP in this game by virtue of the fact that he is middle tier. You can get a shot there on the Valiant. Now, originally they built 6,406 of the M10s. It was the British who called them the Wolverines, and the Americans kind of adopted it afterwards, but it was still an M10 tank destroyer because it was part of the tank destroyer force. So it wasn't strictly a tank as such, it was a tank destroyer. They were actually preferred by the Americans to the eventual M10, which actually, the M18, the Hellcat that came out. I think it's because, of course, they were fairly reliable. They had a twin diesel engine, a tandem diesel that is. It actually had two basic banks of cylinders, and they were connected together at the crankshaft. So basically it could produce 375 brake horsepower, and it was they called it the General Motors 6046 series. So if something went wrong with one of the banks of cylinders, they could disconnect it and still operate the vehicle, although it would be reduced power. Now, the design is basically an M4 with very much reduced armor. That went down before you could even get the shots out. The general armor all around is, well, 25.4mm or less. In fact, on the hull, it's 19.1mm. And you see those little studs all the way around the hull? That's so they could actually apply more armor if they needed to, applicate armor. And by doing it with the studs like that, they could actually have a spaced armor, because by fitting the plates, they were, yes, it was basically putting a space between each of the layers of armor that was being fixed. Well, what actually happened is the crews would normally fix all of the bits and bobs that they didn't want put on the inside of the vehicle, and they've just attached those to the outside of the vehicle instead. So these vehicles were actually going along with bits of track and boxes of food and rations, jerry cans full of water, fuel, and everything else. So they were festooned with those, and of course the studs acted as good fixing points. KV1, but we've got no shot. I guess he's worried about what's going on the railway line at this moment. And it would be a good idea to get into those bushes, because that Stug is taking fire, so somebody's firing at him. And he's gone. It's time for him to be cautious. He's going into the dip instead of actually trying to use the tree line to get round onto the near the bridge area, come up behind the enemy. And now the AMX-13F3 is taking shots. So whoever's actually doing it, there he is. It's the AMX 12 ton. Okay, so it's a 4-shot autoloader. And he must know that he's been spotted now. But he'll go unspotted momentarily. And he has. And we've been spotted, so he needs to pull back. He needs to get back into the dip. Can't stay here. Oh no, he's knocking the trees down. There is an enemy Arty in the game. It's an M44. I think he's rather busy at the moment, that M44, because our guys are up the other end of the map as well. Although, unfortunately, we don't know what's going on. Oh, we just lost our Achilles. Well, the AMX 12 ton did come up and he's now been wiped out, so that's good news. Now, there's only two enemy left. The Hellcat and the M44. As far as we know, the Hellcat's on the railway line route. So he could be down this end or he might be up the other. So targy could be driving into an ambush. If he meets the Hellcat, well, the Hellcat, if he's got the 90mm gun, is capable of doing a lot more damage than targy can do, and he'll just out DPM him. But if he meets the M44, then he's got a good chance of actually taking out the M44, even with his 155mm howitzer. So don't fall off the bridge. I noticed that targy has been using mostly standard ammo. The Hellcat's up the other end. He has been using standard ammo to maximize his credits as well. And that does make a big difference. We are capping, and the enemy Hellcat, I think he's trying to get resets. It's very likely we're going to meet the M44 very shortly. So it's a good job that targy is actually using the bridges to cut across the gaps quickly. And there's the M44. We're auto aimed on. He's taken 1, 2. This will be the kill shot. And he gets it. So 4 kills to targy. But unfortunately, that Hellcat killed all of our teammates. And now it's 1-on-1 between the Hellcat and an M10. Oh dear. But this is the RBFM version. So I think he's probably a bit worried, unless, of course, he's got the 90mm. There he is. Okay, we've auto-aimed on to get the accuracy. 1 in. 2. He's coming this way. He's stopping to take a shot. He's fluffed it. He's got 1 more shot to get the kill. He goes over the railway line. Go for it, targy. Yes! Take that, you beast. And he's won the game for his team. Well, targy won that game in the end. First class tanker to him in the M10 RBFM. He managed to get a fighter badge for getting at least 4 kills. He actually ended up with 5, which is 1 short of getting a top gun and 1/3 of the enemy team. He also got 5 for effect for doing more damage than hit points for his own vehicle, and a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits in this one. He got 7. And his win rate for the game, 7,727, which is super unicum and a bit more, quite a bit more. Let's have a look at team score. Well, he didn't get the highest damage in the game, sadly. No, that actually went to the Achilles, who actually picked up a high caliber and a Confederate for 2,418 hit points of damage. Second highest damage went to targy with 2,124, and of course he got the honors of winning the game for the team. And in third place was the AMX-12 ton on the enemy team, who was silently going along the back edge of the map, taking out our defenders back at the cap area. But I don't think he anticipated he was going to meet an M10 RBFM, and he made a bit of a boo-boo there by actually getting spotted and taken out by targy. He could have stayed in the bushes, used his concealment to hide himself from targy, and then force targy to come out and try and get him, in which case then his autoloader would have managed to take out targy. But he failed, and he only got 1,997 hit points and got the highest damage for the enemy team. When it came to kills, targy got that one. 5 kills to him, 3 kills to the Type 58, the KB1 on our own team. And on the enemy team, it was their AMX-12 ton who got 3 kills. And when it came to base XP, targy got that one too, and he's the only one to get over 1,000. He got 1,307. The next highest was the Achilles, who got the high caliber, and he only got 908. But then the Achilles is a tier 6, and targy's a tier 5. So, of course, targy was hitting above his weight. He was taking down superior tanks with his better machine, or with his better play. 908 base XP went to the Achilles, and the next highest after that was the Panzer KW1, which actually was just 2 XP higher than the best tank on the enemy team. He fired 39 rounds in that game, virtually, well, I think all of it was standard ammo. 24 direct hits on the enemy and 20 penetrations. Just goes to show, with the standard ammo in the M10 RBFM, you've got decent pen, so you don't need to use premium ammo. I know we've seen a lot of players use the premium because they love playing with premium. Looking at you, Mr. You know who I am talking about. Yes, you can get away with standard ammo on this tank and get good pen. 2,124 hit points of damage, of which 1,120 was at more than 300 meters. 1 enemy vehicle was spotted, 8 enemy vehicles damaged, 5 killed, and 499 hit points of damage assistance. I think that was the spotting. On a premium count, he earned a profit of 57,615 credits because his ammo costs were so low from using standard ammo. And he also took away 4,705 experience points altogether. So he played the M10, and he played it exceptionally well. And I suspect that the player in the Hellcat was a bit of a novice, and that's why he wasn't able to use it to its best abilities. It didn't appear, at least I didn't think at the time, he may have had the 90mm, but he fluffed his shot. And instead of actually hitting targy and doing serious damage, he actually gave targy the opportunity to take him out and win the game. And he did so very, very quickly. For your enjoyment, we have the second replay, and in this one, we've got targy in the 105 leFH18B2 French Tier 5 Premium SPG on the northwest spawn of mines. Okay, 105mm light field howitzer. That's where the leFH comes from. That's Leica which is German for light field howitzer. And he's located on the southwest, northwest corner, I should say. But he's going to stay fairly close to the rock, and he's going to try and aim at the enemy tanks as they try to make their way into the castle grounds. Now, first one to try, Panzer H. Oh! Well, he hit it for 168, but one of our teammates in the Leopard got the kill shot, and he's out the game. So, we've got an AEC next, which is one of those British wheelies. And he takes a hit, quite a big hit as well, for 188. Can he take him out in the next round? Well, probably not. But it is 410 alpha, and that AEC had less than that, so he could have, if he'd actually penetrated him. You can see that shell landed right on the frontal armor, on the front plate. Left a big yellow stain where the HE round exploded. Of course, when HE rounds tend to explode, they pepper the target with loads of tiny little craters all over the armor. Leaves quite a big mess. Fires another one in. Just keep pumping those rounds in. Keep that guy tracked. Then he's going to get taken down by our teammates. That one, oh, it went over the top. But our teammates are actually hammering him. Wait for the next shot. Okay, fully dialed in. Rounds out. That's a hit on the side. He used a heat round on that one as well. At least it looked like it. He's trying another HE round. Fires it in. Gets a hit. The KV-1's making his way into the castle grounds. I'm not sure we can do anything more about that, but the Churchill has gone down. And there's another KV-1 that didn't try to go into the castle grounds, but he's gone as well anyway. So we've got a bit of a problem now because we have got an enemy tank inside the castle. We do have our own tanks in there, so they can probably deal with that problem. Okay, over on the other side of the map, we've got another AEC. In fact, that's the same one we fired at before. That was good shot, but it just narrowly missed the AEC. Fired over the top of the castle. I know people call it the hill. Now, he dialed in specifically on the vehicle, but the vehicle then moved directly afterwards, and he's now behind the house, so we can't see him. That enemy KV-1 is in there, but our teammates... Well, I think both of our teammates that were in the castle grounds have now left. In fact, the KV-1's getting very, very close, and he might spot us from where he is located right now, so we need to get shots on target. Rounds out. He looked away there. Don't look away. Targy. Rounds out. That's better. And he's looking at the target. You can see the other enemy that managed to make his way into the castle grounds. An AMX-13 FL-11. The KV-1's gone down, but the FL-11 is still in there. He's actually a little further back. We can just about make him out. Okay, there's a Leopard down to the south. I'm looking on the West Island as well, the Middle Island. Doesn't appear to be any threat from there, but there is this AT2. And it looks like he's got the standard battle assistant from Wargaming, which has got this habit of looking up or looking down just at the moment you don't want it to. He's dialing in on the AT2, rounds out. Oh, he wiped him out with one round. I'm wondering if that one actually penetrated. It might be a penetration, although with 410 alpha, he could probably take it out fairly easily. The enemy Bishop just took out our VK3001H, so he's probably behind that bush. I say probably, but he has to be fairly close because otherwise he wouldn't be able to get shots into the castle grounds. Firing from the back of the map is quite some distance away. He might be closer to the rock. We can't see any tracer at the moment. I think he needs to look a bit closer away. He's staying with that bush at the moment, looking for any sign of the enemy. And we've just lost our M10 RBFM as well. And, well, we've spotted the enemy M10 RBFM coming up the middle of the map. Whilst we're looking at the back of the map, the M10's crossed onto the middle island. There he is. Got to look for those sort of things, especially if you get a warning that something's been spotted. Got to remember, this Arty's got a 390-meter view range, so it's longer than some of the view ranges of light tanks. And that means that when you get a spot, it means you're the first one seeing it. Oh! Right in his rear. Yeah, he's not going to forget that one in a while. Okay, there's the M10, and we know from the previous battle how good those tank destroyers are. And he's hiding behind the rock at the moment, but what I think he'll do is he'll use the bushes to peek out and see what's going on. That AEC's taking damage from the Stug. He's trying to nail him, and does. And then he gets nailed by the Bishop. Oh dear, so now it's 4 left on either side. We didn't see where the shot came from, but I think he's guessing that he might be in that yard area. Of course, we've got to think about that M10 RBFM. Our M10 RBFM is watching, and he's suddenly seen him, and he's come forward. He's come around the rock. We're dialing in, on the move. Oh, we got a hit, and it's a penetrating, I think it was a penetrator. Or was it? 89 hit points. He's gone down, but we're being targeted by another enemy M10. He's pulling back as fast as he can. He doesn't have to worry much about the enemy Arty because he's too far away to do any damage straight off the mark. But that means that the other M10 RBFM on the enemy team was within range and could see us. So maybe both M10s made their way up the middle island, and one stayed behind the rock while the other one came around it, and he's the one that got taken out, and the other one's probably still there. Okay, so he's pulled back, but if he tries to move away from this position, he might get spotted by that M10. In fact, if he backs into these bushes, he might get spotted. Unless, of course, he can get in before they see him. Oh, he's done it. Thank goodness. Okay. The KV-1SA is holding the castle grounds, so the bishop can't go in there and start using those grounds to shoot at us. So we're fairly safe from counter battery unless the enemy bishop comes up onto the middle island. Our M10's decided to go to the castle grounds, going up to the hill, as others would call it. That is a castle keep there. You see the battlements and everything. It is properly a castle. I know the map's called mines because there are mines shown on the map. M10's sitting in the center, but he's been spotted. Okay, now this might be a bit of a problem. The M10's decided to move, and he's headed for the enemy cap area. KV-1SA's on lookout over above him. It's going to force the enemy M10 possibly to pull back. The AEC's the other side of the hill, and he's taken out very quickly by the M10 RBFM. But that means now the bishop's going to start hammering that M10 as fast as he can to stop him from getting the win. And the enemy M10's probably going to turn around and hightail it back to his own cap area. Now might be the time to move up, actually, and try and get onto the hill. And I think targy's thinking the same. If he does get spotted in the next couple of seconds, then we know the M10's still there on the middle island. But he'd be a fool to be there, because obviously once his cap is under threat, he's going to find it very tough. The bishop still hasn't attacked the M10. You can tell that because he hasn't lost any hit points. Oh, the bishop's been found. We know where he is now, and we can hit him. It's going to be a long-range shot. Lining it up. Letting it get dialed in. This is good. Oh, he moved out the way the moment he knew a round was on the way in. We'll do it this time. Rounds out. This could be good. It is good. That's the second to last kill now. Where is the enemy M10? It's good that the P43 is on the hill overlooking us. He stops the enemy cap from, our cap rather, from being occupied. But we really do need to find that last M10. And to do that, I think, yeah, we do need to stick our nose out. And there he is. He's been found. Now, I think actually at this point it would be better. Yeah, no, he's pulling back as fast as he can so he can get shots over the top of the rock towards the M10. Okay. Ready to go. Okay, KV-1SA will move in from one angle. He'll probably be able to get the spots. We need to get closer to see the bush. Through the bush, if he moves. He's probably hiding behind the rock at the moment from our teammates. Oh, targy keeps moving too close to the rock. I think it's because he wants to hide. And the M10 is using the rock for cover as well. Okay, can get a shot. Fires snap. Doesn't work. Dialing in. Let it settle. Let it settle. That's good. Rounds out. Yes, he gets a direct hit, but it's a non-penetrating shot. Hit the counterweight on the rear of the turret. He's firing blind. No, that just blew the water. Okay, you can do it, targy. There he is. There he is. Go for it. Rounds out. Yes! Kill shot wins the game. So 2 games where targy got the last kill. I'm really pleased that I put those games back to back because I didn't realize that he got the last kill in both of them. That was a total surprise to me because, as you know, I don't watch these replays before I run them. So the surprise I see is a surprise to me. You're getting the natural reaction because I don't watch them beforehand. Other players, other channels, they will watch the replay first, and then they sound very clever when they say something about what happens in the battlefield. But I don't watch it first so I can give you the natural reaction, my own surprise, and I try to work out in my own mind exactly what targy's trying to do or what the player's trying to do so I can give you the best reaction I can. That was a first-class tanker for targy in the FIFI. He managed to get a fighter badge for getting at least 4 kills. He did get 4 exactly in this one. He also got a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, he got 13. And the win rate from this one, 4,340. Super Unicum standard, indeed. So just like the last game, he's giving good service to his teammates and took out the last enemy. He didn't get the highest damage in the game. That went to the KV1 on the enemy team. We got 1,619 hit points of damage. Second highest damage went to a Stugai Aslains with 1,431. And the third highest damage went to our M10 RBFM, who managed 1,375. That was the guy who went down the other end of the map. He got a Confederate in that game. targy got the 4th highest damage in the game. He came in at 1,348, so he wasn't that far behind the M10 at the end of the game. When it came to kills, though, targy got the highest number. He got 4 kills. 3 kills went to the enemy bishop, so he was quite a good player. In fact, he was taking opportunity to take out the enemy tanks that are actually inside the castle grounds. It makes it very easy when they're standing still. And a lot of them do stand still after they've killed one of our guys or one of their guys, and that makes it easier to kill them. 2 kills went to the Stugai Aslains, the M10 RBFM, the KV1 SAR team, and on the enemy team, their KV1 and their Leopard. When it came to base XP, targy got that one too, so he's got the highest in 2 columns and missed out on the third one. 952 went to targy, 889 went to the M10 RBFM, and 756 went to the Stugai Aslains. Let's have a look at the detail. 25 shots fired, so he had half his ammo expended. 13 direct hits on the enemy, no penetrating shots, funnily enough, but he did get 13 splash and damage of 1,348 hit points, of which 1,259 were at more than 300 meters. The close one was that shot on the M10 that drove past the rock. And in fact, actually, it was only about 89 hit points or so, but because that guy got hit by numerous shots at the same time, it looked like he took more damage from targy, but he didn't. It was only a minor hit, but it was a significant hit that tracked the guy and made him easy to kill. 1 hit received. It was a penetrating shot, I'm afraid. Yeah, he did receive 1 round. And he did get 2 enemy vehicles spotted, 9 enemy vehicles damaged, 4 killed, 1,015 hit points of damage assist or spotting assist in that game. On a premium count, he made a profit again, 37,331 credits out of that game. And he also took away 4,855 experience points as well. So 2 really good games. Called this one incoming. And of course, on the previous one, another first class. And of course, in both games, he got the last kill of the game to finish it all off. So well done to targy. Very good play in both cases. If you enjoyed those replays, please give this video a like. Do subscribe to our channel. Leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm. And thank you for watching.